Hello everyone, welcome back to second class of data science. So in the last class we have just learned about what is data science, what is pandas and some basics introductions of the Google Colab software. So from this class we are going to learn the actual concepts of some data, like how and what are the different data types that we are need to store some data or to filter some data, right? So in Python there are multiple inbuilt data types are there, which is list, tuple, dictionary, sets. These are the inbuilt data types. There are multiple user defined data types are there also, but right, for this class this is basics data types are only required, right? So today we are going to start with the list data type, right? So what is list? So let me give you a quick basic explanations of list. So you can see list is a mutable sequential data types. I'm going to explain you. Now, first let's understand what is sequenceable. Suppose if I created a list, here I'm giving the name of this list is value. And inside this list, I'm storing some value like 23, 78, 12, 90. You can see right now I have stored four values. These all are the integer value. Doesn't yeah, it is not necessary that you have to store the value of same data types. You can store the value of multiple data types. Suppose here you can store some decimal number also. If you want, you can store some string value also. Suppose if I want to store some name, which is Sahil, you can store a combination of data types. So this is the first definitions of this list. And again, whenever you are creating any list, always enclosed all the elements inside a square bracket, right? You can see over here. And if you want to print this, if you write print and value, if you run this code, you can see all the values. Now the question is that till now I have explained you this is the combination of data type. Now how it is sequential? Sequential means whatever elements you are storing inside a list, all are in a sequence. Like the first element, which is 23, this element is kept at position number 0. As you know, in Python counting always start from 0. So 23, this element is kept at position number 1, next element position number 1, this position number 2, this position number 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? Now let's suppose if you want to print a single value, right? If you want to print this value 78, so what you have to do, first you have to write down the name of list, which is value, and then you have to take a square bracket. Inside this square bracket you have to write down the index value of that particular element. As I told you, all elements are arranged in a sequence. So 78, so you have to count 0, 1. So 71 is kept at position number 1. Now see, if I run this code, only 78 will be there in the output, right? So this concept is called indexing, right? So when you want to access a single element, what you can do, you can just write down the index value of that particular element and you can see the output, right? Okay, again, suppose if you want to access this last element, which is Sahil. So again, you have to count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead of 1, if I write 5, and again, if I run this code, you can see the output, you can see Sahil is there, right? So this concept is known as the indexing. So I am just commenting over here. So this concept is indexing. Let's move to the next concept. Suppose if you want to access more than one element, then in that case what you can do, you can use slicing method. Let me explain you what is slicing. So again, you have to write down the name of your index and just take a square bracket. Okay, suppose if you want to access these two elements 12 and 19, so you have to first count down the index value of 12, which is 0, 1 and 2. So write down 2, then take colon. After this you have to write down the position of last element. So we need to print 12 and 90. So the index value of 90 is 3. You can count 0, 1, 2 and 3. So here instead of 3 you have to write down 4. Let me explain you why 4. Because first term is inclusive and last term is exclusive, right? So as you know, if you write out 3 over here, it will print till 2 only. So if you want to print till 3, you have to write down 4. Let me run this code. If I run, you can see in the output 12 and 90, both value are there, and this method is called slicing, right? These two are the very important method of list whenever you want to access a single data or a bunch of data, right? So I hope you get it, you got these concepts, like what is why we called list is a sequential data type. It means all the elements are arranged in a sequence. Let's move to the next concepts. As I told you, the next definition of list is mutable data type. What is mutable data type? It means you can edit the data of list. That's why it is called mutable data types. It means you can add the data, you can delete the data, you can exchange the data, you can replace the data. That's why it is called mutable data type. Let me take one example. Suppose if I want to replace this value 78, what I'll take? First, you need to write down the name of list, which is value. And the position of 78 is 0 and 1. So write down the 1. Here, suppose I want to replace with some other value, which is, let's suppose, sad, right? And let's print the value of this list. Just carefully observe the value. If I run this code, in the output you can see 23 sad. Now earlier the value of the value which is kept at position number 1 is 78. Now after applying this, here I have just modified the value of 1 with set. Now you can see in the output set is over there, right? So it means we are able to replace the data. It means that's why we call index is the mutable data type. Let me take one more example. Okay, here again, suppose if I want to add one data, so I write value dot append. Append is one of the method of list to add data in the list, right? Suppose here if I want to take 120, right? Right now you can see 120 is not there in the list. If I run this code, in the output you can see 20 is added at the end of the list. So with the help of this append method, whenever you will use this append method, you are able to add the element at the end of the list. Now what about if you want to add the element at some particular index value, right? In that case you have to use value dot insert method, right? And with the help of this insert method, you have to pass two argument over here. First argument, this is the index value. Suppose I want to add the element at index number 4, and here I want to add value which is suppose coding, right? Now again, let's run this code and you can see some things. Okay, so 0 1 2 3 4. Now you can see at position number 4 we have successfully added this value which is coding, right? And so this is the till now I have explained you three concepts, which is this is like indexing, slicing, these two methods to add the value in the list, how we can add the value at the end of the list, and how we can add the value at a particular positions, right? Hope all of you like got the concepts of indexing, slicing, and the data adding, right? That's why we called list is a mutable data type. Again, one more thing. Suppose if you want to delete some value, right? So what you can do? There are multiple methods. So suppose here I want to delete some particular value. So I'll write value dot pop. Simply if I run this code after this print value, you can see I'm printing two times. This before the pop, before applying pop, this one, and after applying pop, I'm printing over here. Again, if I run this code, just see here in the first one 120 is there, but after this when I applied this pop method, there is no element which with the 120 value. It means, right, whenever you apply this pop method, it will delete the element at the end of the list, from the end of the list. Again, if I keep 2 over here, again if I run this one, now earlier at position 2 12 is there. Now when you when you add a index value, so it will delete the element which is kept at position number 2, right? So when you simply pass pop, it will delete the element from the last of the list. And when you pass the argument, okay, like when you pass the index value, that it will delete the element of that particular index, right? So these are some of the basics features of list. Again, let me quickly revise you. List is a sequential data types, and you can add combination of data, either a integer, decimal number, and the string. Also, list is mutable data type. It means you can modify the element of a list. Okay, and you can add the value, you can delete the value, you can exchange the value. Like, these are some of the features. There are multiple features are there, but here I have explained you some basics features, right? Okay, this is all about this list and how to create a list. In the next class, we'll learn about some more data types. Okay, till now, bye bye everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see you.